What's going on? It's Michael.
It's your boy Seth.
And this is the OG Nexus podcast. So now in today's episode, we'll be discussing love and relationship between men and women in the social media era. So now, what you think? Like, from my opinion, personally, I think a lot of the values and traditions that were followed before the rise of social media, it's all warped now. I'm not the type to say it for the better or for the worse, because I kind of like how it is nowadays. I feel there's not a lot of pressure. You could just decide or not decide, and you can kind of get a miniature upload, because some of it is smoke and mirrors, but I feel at the same time, you when you meet certain people or see what they put out, you can get a gist of who they might be on a deeper level. And if you're not looking for anything deep, I guess they have that too. What you think?
I think it's only getting worse with social media, relationship wise. I think like back in the day it was bad, but social media is just exploiting it more and more to higher levels. And as the time goes on and on, it's looking real slow. The the divorce rate is at an all-time high. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think about 5 years, the divorce rate gonna be 95%.
90.
Shit gonna be 95%. I ain't gonna care.
You know what I think? I think that before there was kind of a social standard for not only how relationships should be, but even between who they should be between. But I think like social media and the opportunity to meet more people gave you more options. So then instead of you being in a small town and you only getting to choose between the only women in the town, and sometimes that's a big problem because people be warring over the girls in the city when it's a world, you know what I mean? But like, so I do see what he means, because trust, I think, is
only gonna get worse.
Trust is probably lost in the social media era, but I think it's because people, like women who are very beautiful, or people who are really talented in a certain area, they can capitalize and market online, and then they can expand on their options. But at the same time, if love is real, and you'll find what love is meant for you. So I can only think that it could help more than it could hurt in the end.
If you can help more than it could hurt?
Yeah, I think. What you think?
It might be even.
Even?
It might be 60-40, 70-30. 70% could hurt, 30% it could help. Because I say out of 100 couples, you got...
Yeah. I guess
15 couples that make it through, man.
15. No, I definitely feel you.
It's not all bad. It's not 100% bad,
I guess maybe I'm looking at it from a single perspective. So I feel, I don't know, even when I was in relationships in the social media era, I feel like it made it more fun. I did see a drawback in certain things like trust, because of just random people liking your stuff or checking for you too hard. If your spouse is insecure in certain ways, it could expand on their insecurities. But I would say that, I don't know, you have a greater chance of reaching more. I guess if you want to be if you want to keep or preserve the old school, quote unquote, style of love and relationships, you and your partner might have to be either social media low key, or completely cut it out, or maybe y'all be those couples who post each other all the time. You know what I mean?
You can still be them couples that do that all the time. You know what I mean, John? Nah.
Yeah, I feel you, because you could do that and girls might like you more, or like guys could want the girl.
They posting all the time, and behind closed doors they getting the buttons beat down off their shirts, man.
But you know what I think though? I think that maybe multiple styles of relationships have been opened up to the minds of the masses, in a sense of instead of it only being Western Christian, you know what I mean, no fornication before marriage type of thing, even though these things weren't ever really followed even by them themselves. So I don't know, to me, in my opinion, the corruption that we see on social media has always been there, but it's just that before it was only privy to those with high level finances and wealth, but now because of extension and expression, people who have less can still get more. So I mean, in one sense you could say like it's worse, but in another sense, would you have talked to that geek who was just like in the room? Nah, but maybe 10 other girls might like him across social media, and maybe out of those 10 he might find one. And maybe he might have had an affair with one, but which one was a better story for him to be alone and maybe get to a point where he's contemplating the worst aspects of his life, or maybe him having love and adventure? I don't know. I think as an individual, I'm too far gone. What do you think?
I think a whole lot of us might be too far gone at this point. I blame the social medias, man. You feel me?
You know how hard it is to trust anyone when they're so bad. Like everyone wants them, but then look, because then there's another route where what people do is they try to find someone who's super low key, like don't follow a lot of people. They don't and they try to pick those people now. But I don't know. I feel like just overall in general, insecurity is something that will cause a lot of negative backlash in yourself. So instead of like, I don't know, from my perspective, instead of ever being that type of guy, like looking at the chicks like, dang, she's so bad, everybody want her, so I shouldn't talk to her, or I shouldn't even try. I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna keep leveling up, and I'm not even gonna really focus too hard. And if they see you doing your thing, then I feel like regardless if it's online or in person, and if you're really doing your thing and you're really real, you know what I mean? And if you can really find love and make something deep and connective. And I think the problem is people lie too much. If you 100 from the rip, like you're like, I'm into you and you're into me, so for however long we're connected, let's do what we want to do and dive deep into love. But is it going to be forever? Who knows? People like pass every day, so
yeah, who knows, man. At the end of the day, if you lose it ain't really a loss, it's just a lesson, man,
And plus, do you want to have spent your whole life only seeing so much, and then she could fall in love fall in love with the mailman, or you know what I mean? Someone who has certain
the gas station man, you know?
Someone who is not morally sound or cannot follow a code of conduct that they agreed upon, because it's based on you to make the parameters. But if you have a partner and you express the parameters, but then you break them, that's just on like, you know what I mean? That's just on your character as an individual, you know what I mean? But in my opinion,
it ain't hard to find love, man. It's just if you're willing to take the time and mold into whatever you want to create, in this lifetime. There's gonna be ups and downs, but you go weather the storm. If your heart is strong enough, you can make it work.
And plus, I mean, like, I always find certain contradictions between like ancient literatures and present day, like. So I know in one sense you only supposed to love and give your all to one, and one is supposed to give your all to you. It's unwritten rule that someone came up with. But how like when they say like this biblical figure or this historical being loved everyone with their whole hearts and their souls, or when you say like a king loves his people, and then but then they say like you're supposed to see because I'm straight, so I only go one way. So one woman or person, do you choose to see the beauty in them, or do you choose to kind of like, my relationship says that anything beautiful or special about you I cannot acknowledge. So I don't know, that's why I choose to be single currently, because I don't know, that whole complex is so, I'm still figuring it out. I just know that I could see the beauty in other people and not diminish the deep intrinsic love and trust and loyalty I might have for one individual. But I don't know. He's playing jump for us, and I mean, to me, like, love, relationship, all that, it's a battle. You know what I mean? Like, what did XXX say? He said love is war. In my opinion, whether the front is online or like peacocks, they show their feathers. Like, whatever you truly desire, you gotta go after it. And if someone wants to stick by you, then they'll stick by you. And if someone's just in it for the clout, then eventually it'll be present. But if you're the type of person so dependent on a relationship in person, or dependent on someone where you can't function without them, then develop more hobbies.
Yeah, you gotta be comfortable being by yourself before you just hop into a relationship. Anyway, you can't be one of the people that has to get out of a relationship. You gotta hop into the next one. You get out of that one, you gotta hop into this one until you die. You can't be one of them type, man. You gotta be comfortable with being by yourself first. Self-love is the best love. And once you get that, ain't nothing with the relationship, man.
Make sure you like, subscribe, etc. Follow me on Instagram, Gcoggalaxy.
Follow me at yo_Sep007.
But yeah, in this social media era, I guess we should each summarize at the end. That's dope, right? Summarization. They act like our kind isn't intelligent, but we're far beyond what they know about us. But so now, in summarization, I would say that social media can give you new, different highs and adventures in relationships, as long as you don't make it that the center point and focal, and as long as you have confidence in yourself and trust in your partner, and that if your relationship is built and established on real substance, then likes and digital documents shouldn't supersede the real. Now that's basically my opinion on it. What do you say?
My opinion on it is what I basically said before. It didn't change. I mean, y'all get the gist of my opinion, man. You feel me?
That's what he said. And I am out.